That's awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Flying Zells.
Oh, and I have a name too. Hello.
This is CairbreRose.
Yeah, oh my god, don't even say it with an accent. That's like 1,000 times worse.
I was just
My
trying to do it
16-year-old
like
self.
the Google Translate.
Apologizing.
Oh, mostly we blame Sony because can't change that PSN ID.
I would take it back. I don't know how to say it.
So this week we are here to talk about version 39.1. So they're making some changes, some minor changes,
But some change, it's a good step. It's a much needed step.
Yeah, it's a good step in the right direction. Like, this doesn't fix everything, but it's,
You gotta start somewhere.
especially since we only see a small part of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
This game has a long way to go before they're ever gonna say, okay, it's released, it's done, it's, the initial steps. Like, I mean, sure, like with any MOBA, they'll keep releasing heroes, they'll keep doing updates, things like that, but the game, it's not where they want it, where Epic wants it to be. And so, I feel like in another 2-3 weeks, all of these updates are going to make a lot more sense in the context of
the big picture.
The bigger picture, yeah. So, new UI look, which, let's talk about Star Chest first. Because this... I like the home screen. I like a lot of the visual changes that they're making. It's pretty.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's very sleek.
It's a little more low contrast than...
Yes, yeah, you don't have just that stark white background.
Which my degrading eyes appreciate, so...
Yeah. Well, and previously you couldn't even read their hero information or half the skill stuff because on that white background. Jeez.
You had to make an estimated guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, daily quests. I don't even care that they're daily quests versus weekly quests. I mean, that part I actually like because we play a lot. So, it also... the part that I am excited the most about is they actually have a quest for placing wards.
It's so nice. It's so nice. I mean, before in the weekly card pack, where one of your objective is to destroy wards, you just got to know that there's so many people running around out there who haven't made the connection.
Don't use wards.
Well, they just haven't made the connection that the only way that you're going to meet that objective is by placing wards.
Yeah.
Because you cannot destroy wards.
If you can't see them.
If you can't see them. And the only way to see the enemy ward
is with your own. Yeah. And I really, the more people that are running around with wards, just the better this game will be forever.
It's more strategic engagements. It makes the team fights a lot more... It just gives you the ability to have that sort of knowledge and control.
Yeah. And, so often coming up through absolutely miserable games and where you're the only person warding, so there's 1-2 wards on the map, and you're just like, well, I hope there's no one coming because I can't see anything.
Yeah, an attempt was made.
And it's like, I've warded Orb Prime and Raptors, like, I can't ward anywhere else, guys.
It's like, I can do nothing more for you.
So, yeah, I'm glad that they're pushing that. I mean, I'm curious to see how the ward eliminator part goes, but I'm just, like I said, placing wards, thank you. Stars are pretty. I like their design. It looks like Captain America's shield with different colors.
Yeah.
Slightly less rings, I guess.
I think he would play Paragon.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he would totally really enjoy this, actually.
He totally would.
Oh, it's nice clean fun, as they say.
Oh my god, but then he would get Tony addicted to it.
Oh dear.
And that would be the end.
They would. Tony would buy out Epic, and then...
That's because that's the only way he can beat.
Exactly.
That's the only way he can beat him. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
We digress.
Canon established. Moving on.
So it's a new type of currency, which I don't know that I agree with the new type of currency when we have a currency that's currently unusable.
Yeah, that's definitely...
I'm in the process of buying all of the masteries, and I will use the rep to buy more deck slots, but there
does come a point where there's nothing to spend it on anymore.
Yeah,
but you keep earning it.
Keep earning it, yeah. So, I'll be curious to see what they do. I don't mind another type of currency, but I kind of wish that they'd taken the step with rep first instead of introducing something new, because I know that's...
Solve a problem.
Yeah.
And not that adding stars creates a problem necessarily, but you are leaving something unaddressed.
Yeah, exactly. And so, this makes your chest slightly better, and we don't know how many days. Looks like maybe you have 2 days to collect it. I didn't actually read through this very carefully.
Well, it starts as a bronze chest on a timer, expires every few days, and by earning stars, that's how you upgrade it to different levels. Okay. So if you can get it to a diamond chest before the timer expires, then you have a diamond chest. Congratulations.
I don't mind that. That's... it does encourage people to play more often, which is good, but it doesn't necessarily hurt the people who are just playing every other day or 2 or 3 times a week. I actually feel like it makes these quests slightly easier if you can actually achieve them in a game or 2 or a match or 2. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, then that's kind of nice, because sometimes those weekly ones, it takes 3 or 4 games to actually get through them, and if you're only playing once or twice a week, that's rough. And then, we've got some slightly different end screen here. Oh, you earned 2 stars there.
What?
Playing against the environment. What?
You show that environment.
So, go back. I wanted to pause there, because it told us what some of the quests are. Okay, we'll get there eventually, folks.
Pause it right now.
So, we've got
Ward Novice. Place 3 wards to gain map vision.
Nice, I like that. Deal 15,000 damage to enemy heroes. Sure,
doable.
That's fine. Destroy 7 enemy towers. Also totally doable.
Yeah.
So, I like...
Especially as Murdoch, one hopes.
Yeah, no kidding.
You should probably be doing that.
Yeah. So, overall, I'm fine with all of that. It doesn't necessarily excite me. It's the same way as some of the other things they've added, but it's fine.
It's interesting.
It's just what it is. So, Greystone rocking out to We've Decided Can't Stop Believing. Don't Stop Believing. Oh my god. I can't believe I just butchered that. Wow.
Greystone is so displeased.
He's gonna
arrest you.
Yeah. I'm just following his niece, apparently. Oh dear. Disappointment abounds. And then Decker. All those single ladies.
Making the queen proud.
Yeah. So, I actually still don't know how to emote, because somebody told me it was the C key on the keyboard, but that just brings up the comms.
That's
so
wrong. It's incorrect.
If any of you actually know how to emote, let us know.
So much wasted potential.
We haven't actually looked this up because we've been focused on other things, and in the game, I don't have time for that. But anyway.
But I would make time.
But I would make time if I actually knew how and didn't have to figure it out myself. So the bigger change, jungle spawn times for Raptors and Orb Prime. 4 minutes to 10 minutes, 10 minutes to 15 minutes. I think this is good, especially since there was a clarification that came out from Epic. The way the level up part works, that starts at the beginning of the game, not when they spawn. So their health, the Raptors will have 3 extra levels of health. Orb Prime will have I forget how often he levels up, but he'll have, 2.5 extra levels of health or something like that. I don't think this fixes the problem exactly, but it helps. Like I was saying earlier, it's a step in the right direction. Orb Prime is still going to be stupid easy to take. I mean, yesterday we figured out that the Yin build that I have can solo Orb Prime at 40 CP. And that's, and I think that was 19 minutes into the game. And so, the fact that she could, that's silly. That's silly. It shouldn't be that way.
It was, yep.
And I just don't get why, these should be team objectives. I especially think, a lot of people have suggested for Prime that it needs to be, that he should be inflicting blight or something like that to reduce people's ability to solo him. I think that would be good. I think just more health and more damage would also solve this problem, even without the blight.
Right.
Because blight could be a little rough, I think, but, there's no strategy right now when taking Orb Prime or when taking Raptors even, because, I started soloing Raptors in that game at like 7 minutes, and because all of the rest of the team didn't have to be there, and we had an awesome Narbash who was zoning for me to keep everyone else away from Raptors when I was taking them.
Yeah, he was a really good yeah.
But all the lanes were getting pushed. I had complete control over that, and that's why I was able to solo Orb Prime so quickly, because piece of cake. And I just I don't like how that plays out. Even with this change, that doesn't change much. That means that's one less Raptor rotation before moving to Orb Prime. That's essentially all this means timer-wise as far as being able to solo them. That's it. And that doesn't make enough of a difference to really fix the problem. These still aren't team objectives. They're team objectives in higher level play in the sense that people are going to be fighting over them more. But it's just yeah. Good thoughts. So yeah, again, I think it helps a little. That laning phase will now last longer than 3.5 minutes before everyone starts grouping. Even at those higher levels when teams are more effectively contesting those objectives, it's a little better, but the game's still going to end at 23 minutes, and I don't think that that's quite the point. I think that's pushing it a little too far.
You're a little too far down the scale then, the sliding scale of games are too long versus games are too short.
Yeah, because you
don't a little.
At that point you don't have time to. For instance, Countess right now is absolutely terrible because you have no time for her to come online, and
it is very hard.
Yeah, it just invalidates so many heroes, and it's not. I like the idea of a cross between a hero brawler and a MOBA, but I think at the same time you kind of have to focus on one aspect of it and then introduce some of the other aspects. And if they want to go that hero brawler route with towers, that's okay, but I don't think that's what drew people to the game to start with. I think the MOBA elements and the way that they were working with them, prior to Monolith, which granted I think Monolith was actually a good change. Smaller map, slightly faster games, you don't have 2-hour games. That's way too much. But even 45, 50-minute games, those don't bother me.
No, those are
That's
great.
kind of what I come there
those
for.
Those are awesome.
Because those are the competitive games where both sides are playing well. Yeah. So I'll be curious to see what they do moving forward. Morigesh. So people have been freaking out about these changes. from what I've been seeing.
The Nerf hammer is slow motion falling.
And then missing wildly, because this is not a Nerf.
Just overshot it.
So the biggest things here is that early game, Mark and Hive cost a little more mana, so she won't be able to spam them as often, which especially with Mark, that's good. That needed to happen. Because that was one of the big problems with it. Like, the damage there has been reduced slightly. This isn't going to have a huge impact. I think saw a streamer earlier today saying something like, 50-ish damage from Mark and then 50-ish damage from Hive that they took away at the end at level 15, which, sure, whatever. So the damage late game isn't that much different, so she's still going to be really powerful. But her resource management early game is what's going to help balance things out. Because before, you could just spam Mark.
Oh, yeah. She never, ever, ever ran out of mana. Ever.
No,
wasn't a thing.
Yeah, you'd, spam Mark until you hit level 2, throw Hive a couple times, go grab the river buff, and then you were back for more.
Yeah.
So
there was no end.
So I agree with this. Like, the fact that they've, increased those mana costs and reduced her base mana pretty significantly at first level. At the very, very end, level 15, this doesn't make that much of a difference, which is okay. Casters at level 15, I feel like they shouldn't have to worry about mana as much as... Well, I don't really think that any hero should have to worry about it too much. Now, some, yes. But with her especially, she's at a disadvantage because she's not an intellect hero. There are not a lot of great options for mana regen.
There's not, no.
Like, you've got...
Outside of intellect, no.
Yeah, you've got tainted magic, which is... I love the flavor of it, but God, it's bad.
Right.
And you've got some growth cards that kind of do it, but they all give you other stats you don't want.
Growth is very heavily... there's a lot of health regen in growth, and there are a couple cards where you can find it paired with mana regen.
That's not what you want.
But it's just not. It's not enough.
It's not what you want on an assassin.
No, it's not anything that you can justify putting in a final build, or even a build. Period.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since health regen is just so bad. I think that's one spot where if they want health regen to actually be a legitimate thing to spend points on, they need to increase that scaling. Like, the amount that you regen needs to be more for every card point that you put into it. Because right now, it does nothing because you die before it matters. Like, you're just, boom, dead. She got a little squishier. Her base health reduced by 20, which, whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I playing her, I don't see that being particularly relevant. The health per level, so she's going to have... 75 less health at the end. It might be slightly more than that. Math, I'm not doing accurate math here, but at the very end of the game, I don't think that's going to matter, but it will help a little in that mid-game part.
Yeah, I mean, her positioning is always important with those ranged, especially with your ranged casters.
Yeah.
I still don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter that much.
Really gonna...
Like, she got melted so fast previously anyway.
She does, it's true.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Like, her being a little squishier does not bother me at all.
Especially when her escape skill heals.
Yes.
Sorry. As long as her escape skill heals, like, she has no right to complain about being squishy.
Well, and it's an easy speed boost, like... Especially, it makes Blink Charm a little more important because... But Blink into Swarm, you can get away from just about anything. I mean, Chimera is still a pain, but we'll not talk about that. No. But yeah, that's it for this week. Nothing huge coming, but some decent balance changes to Morigesh. Map, I mean, yes, it'll improve things slightly. It makes that laning phase and what you're doing there a little more important. Like, makes farming efficiently during those first 9.5 minutes more important, because previously, like, your farming was done at 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'm just gonna move on now.
And then you just start taking raptors and setting lanes, and that's all there was to it. Right. But, you know, so I do think we'll see some little improvements there, and, you know, overall, I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing what's next more than anything. I think next week we'll start to see, you know, we'll see how people react to this, and we'll start to see Epic's plan playing out a little better.
Yes, we just have to keep reminding ourselves that it's not done yet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The man behind the curtain, so to speak, is still tinkering.
Tinkering,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But until next week, thank you all for stopping by, and yeah, we'll have some other stuff coming later this week. We're starting on our hero project. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, till then, tuna out.